Chaim Cohen was a prominent Israeli thinker and judge on the Israeli Supreme Court. He was staunchly secular, and during his term, he signed a proposal which allowed an individual who is not halachically Jewish to qualify for the law of return. This was met by tremendous disappointment and opposition from the entire religious world, and the Lubavitcher Rebbe was particularly pained by this issue. One Simchas Torah, Chaim Cohen was invited to 770, the central Chabad shul, for the Hakafo celebration. To the incredible surprise of all present, the Rebbe honored him with holding the Torah and watched intently as he danced and circled the bima. Years later, one of the Chabad shluchim in Manhattan met a very close friend of Judge Cohen and invited him too to meet the Rebbe. The friend stubbornly refused, saying, ever since Chaim Cohen attended that Simchas Torah with the Rebbe, he changed many of his views and opinions, merely being there and dancing without any debating. I, for one, am not yet ready to change my opinions. I'm reminded of this story by a fascinating medrash found in this week's Parsha. When Yaakov dresses up in Esav's clothing in an attempt to receive his father's blessings, the pasuk tells us, "Vayarach Yitzchak es begadav." Yitzchak smelled his clothing and declared, "The aroma of the clothing is like the aroma of the field that Hashem has blessed." The Medrash focuses on the word begadav, clothing, and provides an alternative reading. Begadav, his clothing, can also be read as bogdav, the traitors. Yitzchak sensed that in the future there would be descendants of Yaakov who would betray the heritage which he had bequeathed to his son. How do we make sense of this medrash? Why would sensing future traitors be a motivator for Yitzchak to give the blessing to Yaakov? Wouldn't it be a deterrent? How is this the clincher for Yaakov to receive the blessings? The medrash continues with an example of such a traitor. When the Romans came to destroy the Beis Hamikdash, they needed a local tour guide who is familiar with the inner workings of the holy site. They commissioned Yosef Meshisa, a disenchanted Jewish leader, to provide them with a tour. After showing them around, the Romans told this Yosef that he could take anything from the Mikdash as his payment. Yosef chose the golden menorah. However, when the Romans saw the exquisite and grand menorah in his possession, they reversed course. It's not befitting for a commoner to have the menorah, they said. Choose something else, anything else. Yosef flatly refused. I cannot go back in no matter what. They promised him 3 years of tax revenue from the entire region, an astronomical sum, but he still refused. I entered into the Beis Hamikdash and defiled it. There's no way I will do it again. Eventually, the Romans tortured him for his refusal, and he perished al Kiddush Hashem. How do we understand Yosef Meshisa's behavior? What changed for him? One moment he is a callous traitor engaged in treason, ready to take home the golden menorah. And the next, he's reverent and loyal, ready to give up his life for the sanctity of the Beis Hamikdash. The Panovich Rav provides a poignant explanation. Yosef Meshisa indeed entered the Beis Hamikdash with nefarious intent. He was ready to help the enemy to plunder all that was holy. But as soon as he entered the Mikdash, as soon as he was exposed to its holiness, he became a changed man. The atmosphere and sacred environment completely transformed him. This is what Yitzchak prophetically sensed. He saw the power of a holy environment. He saw the inextinguishable flame of the Jewish soul, which when exposed to an experience of Kedusha, would always catch fire. That was the great aroma that he smelled in Bogdim, the traitors of Israel, the eternity and potency of the Pintele Yid. And this is what ultimately impacted Chaim Cohen. It wasn't a debate or dialogue that changed the way he felt. It was the fiery dancing, the energy of Kedusha that lit the embers of his soul. Sometimes the most powerful agents of change are not the words or ideas we consume, but the environment and atmosphere we enter into. In other words, for a soul to catch fire, it only needs to be exposed to a live flame. Wishing you a wonderful Shabbos.